So Erasmus did a ranking of the Premier League teams where he did from 20th to first. What I'm going to do is to just pick his top four because I vehemently disagree with his top four. And I'm going to make you listen to what he said in his rankings. And I'm going to explain why I vehemently disagree with those ideas or the reasons why he placed the top four arrangements the way in which he did. So, first, I do not think Manchester City is in fourth, but let's listen to the reason why Erasmus says Manchester City is fourth.
In fourth place, I have Manchester City. Now, I think last season was an anomaly for Pep Guardiola. We'd never seen that before, where they lost game after game. But it was not just them losing the games, it was the manner in which they were losing some of these games. Absolutely atrocious.
First of all, I think this is a very gross misrepresentation of Pep Guardiola's season, which, mind you, he finished the season third. A manager who you are describing his season like this, like the manner in which he lost the games, it was atrocious. He finished third. Like, this is Pep Guardiola. He still finished third. So you don't speak about his season in a way that makes it seem like he finished 15th like Manchester United. You use the word atrocious for the likes of Manchester United. He finished third. He finished right behind Arsenal, who everybody thought, yeah, this is some of their best seasons. They've been second for 3 times in a row, and then they are going to win the league and blah, blah, blah. Pep Guardiola, in what you would call the words that Erasmus is using, the most abysmal season and unexpected, still finished third. That should tell you the kind of respect you should have for this manager and his team. That should tell you the kind of quality that team has. That a team that even not in their season, not in their element, they still complete third with ease and go on to play in the Champions League. That's the kind of quality you should be seeing. A team that even in their worst performances, they still made it to the Champions League knockout stages. So we shouldn't underestimate the quality of this team. And just because they had one off season, we use the most extreme words to describe the kind of season that they had and then think that they were the worst performing teams. And mind you, if you are putting some teams based on their performances, which I would go into because he ranks certain team first because they've been doing well in the past 3 seasons. Look at Man City's past 3 seasons and come back and tell me whether or not they are not the ones you should be ranking first. So first of all, this premise of trying to lay and frame City's performances as very, very horrible and abysmal shoots itself in the foot when you realize that this same Manchester City squad finished third in the league. And that's what you need to be thinking about. And that's how you should put a lens on City's performance going into this season. And mind you, this is a manager who played and lost mainly because he played a system which revolved around somebody who was injured and he struggled to fix that issue within the course of the season. That's fine, but still, they finished third, and that's important.
And I do think that they have resolved some of these issues with the players that they have signed. It was clear that they needed a squad rebuild. But what comes with that is that this is not the same Man City team that won 3 Premier League titles in a row. This is a very, very different Man City team with a lot of new players who need to come in and play in order to prove themselves. And I think there's been questions over some of the signings that they've made where they've not done that.
First of all, Liverpool also has new players who need to come in and play and prove themselves. Like, Liverpool probably has the most new first team signings or starter signings. Like, they have all their 2 fullbacks as are new signings. The attacking midfielder in Florian Wirtz is a new signing. Hugo Ekitike is a new signing. So what exactly is this? How does this translate into a reason why City won't be performing? Because if we expect that Liverpool will do well, even with all their new signings who are starters, they are not squad players, they are starters. I can assure you City has less starters who are new signings than Liverpool does. So if really settling and integrating into a team has effects, then we should be seeing that rationale also affect how some of the other teams are going to be ranked, right? So bottom line is I vehemently disagree with the ranking of City being fourth. I think it's unfair and it sort of hugely underestimates the quality of City in this league. And I actually think City is ranking first within this league at the end of the season, and would all be here to judge. But I mean, this framing already tells you that Erasmus is so drawn into City's performance last season, and not just City's performance, really, the performance, the narrative of the media around City, because he's the one who always says, the media, and I'm the media, and I'm being biased. But if you listen to him, he's essentially repeating the narrative of the media around Manchester City instead of talking about exactly the team and its quality. This is a team which still has a striker who broke all the league's records, almost all the league's records in his first season. This is a team who still has one of the best goalkeepers in the league. This is a team who still has a strong defense. The major issue they had is their midfield. This is a team that has still done a rebuild of their midfield. And I think most importantly, because City did their business earlier in January and also within this window very, very early, people are not talking about them. Because they went into the Club World Cup and didn't win, people are not talking about them. The summer buzz has not been around Manchester City. So everybody's underestimating the quality that Manchester City has and the kind of excitement, the kind of exciting plays we saw in the Club World Cup with the kind of things that Pep Guardiola was experimenting. I don't think this is a team that you put forth as opposed to Arsenal. Come on. I think City would be much, much better. And I think City would take a lot of people by surprise. So I think Manchester City first. Now let's move on to the next team that he ranks in the top four. And let me tell you where I think that team would rank as well.
However, I have the team that I have in third position, which is Chelsea, only because I think that they have been able to find much, much more consistency with their squad than Man City. And I think that what they've already shown from the Club World Cup and the feeling that is going into the season has largely been super, super positive. So for me, that is a really, really good thing. The light has gone off, which probably means that I need to be wrapping up. But there's still time for the big review. Okay.
So yeah, I think Chelsea might finish third. I doubt the strength and the authority with which I'll say that, because I think, for instance, Chelsea and another team which I would mention later on are going to be paddling for the third and fourth positions. So I sort of agree with this ranking that Chelsea could finish third. I think they are a very, very young squad. They are done really well. They've gained confidence from the Club World Cup. They're exciting to watch. I still think that they have new signings that need some work on them, or not some work really, but new signings that sort of need to demonstrate in the Premier League. These new signings, like the likes of Joao Pedro, Liam Delap, they were exceptional in the Club World Cup. They hit the ground running. But I still think that they might not get that same freedom and consistency within the Premier League, knowing very well that they were already in the Premier League and the kind of output that they had. And so I think that they would at some point hit the ground, like at some point catch on fire, right? Because if you look at the chances that Chelsea created for Nicolas Jackson last season, and you have the likes of Joao Pedro and Liam Delap getting those chances, they're more likely to score higher volumes of goals. So that's like a very positive thing. I think that the most important thing here is that they might not always get these kind of results out of the team. And so that's the reason why I think Chelsea it's they might finish third. I think they are comfortably in the top four, but as to whether they will finish third or fourth, they are competing with another team that I'll tell you. Let's listen to Erasmus's rank for second place and why.
I have Liverpool in second place. Now, I have contemplated over this for very long, and I do think that people are failing to notice that winning the title is hard.
You see, the part that I want you to notice here so far And just this would probably help you guess who Erasmus ranked as winning the league. Erasmus says Manchester City, coached by Pep Guardiola, is fourth. Chelsea is third. Liverpool is second. Liverpool, that just won the league with a squad that nobody saw coming. Liverpool, that has just reinforced with upgrades on almost every single position that they are reinforcing in. Liverpool, that are still in the market to try and sign Isak from Newcastle, who is aggressively pushing to go there. Who we hope, or people, a lot of experts hope that by the end of the window, he would be a Liverpool player. Erasmus still ranks Liverpool second. Because for me, if you are ranking City fourth, Chelsea third, there must be a good reason why Liverpool is not your first rank. Because, I mean, it's given a lot of straightforward ranking. But Erasmus says Liverpool is second. Before I even listen to the reasons why and why it went that way, I just want you to start priming, brainstorming, and trying to understand why and who exactly, which team does he have in first place? Which team does he have in first place? We'll come there. Let's listen to why he's placed Liverpool, title defenders, in second place, and who he's put above them, that he trusts more than those who have won the title to defend it.
But winning it twice in a row is even harder. And there's not a lot of teams who have been able to achieve it. And I think what Slot has done is brilliant. And I think for the things which are under his control, he does really, really well. But there are still a lot of things which would not be under his control, like signing a lot of new players who still need time to gel within the squad. There's no way you are able to rush that process. And I still do think they are going to play really, really well, but no, also having a proper DM. And I know Gravenbach has done a very, very good job. But sometimes you see him having to.
But you see, this is my question then. If these are the reasons why you rank, these are literally the same reason why you rank Manchester City fourth. So why is Liverpool not third? Because Chelsea has a DM. Chelsea's not signing a lot of new players that have not embedded in. A lot of their major new signings were embedded in during the Club World Cup. Chelsea doesn't have any of the issues that you are seeing Liverpool and Slot has with Liverpool. Why is Chelsea not second? Why is Liverpool second and Chelsea third? There seems to be no consistent structure behind the reasons why Erasmus is placed in the team, right? Because the very reasons why Manchester City is fourth is the very reasons why Liverpool is second. Why? Why is Chelsea, who doesn't fall into any of these categories, why is Chelsea not second? Right. So I mean, I don't think that Liverpool being second is bad. I still think in my ranking they would be second. I just disagree with if the reasons why you put Manchester City fourth is because they have new signings and a lot of same reasons. They don't have a proper DM because Rodri has a setback. They have new signings who are going to be embedded. Why is Liverpool sitting two places above them? Why is Liverpool not sitting right above them and then push Chelsea? Because you guys have Chelsea has one of the best DMs, Caicedo. Why is he not there? Anyway,
See him having to um, struggle to sometimes intercept some of these balls and dealing with the counter attacks, especially now that they've brought in Florian Wirtz, which means not less bodies but less physicality within the midfield. Of course, it helps them with the low blocks but makes them susceptible to the counter attacks. Like Van Dijk, there are concerns about Van Dijk and Mo Salah if they can still do it at their ages. I do think there's going to be a bit of a decline. And I think that the attacking returns for Mo Salah is going to spread throughout the squad. But how do you spread defensive balance? I still do think that they are susceptible to the odd counters here or there.
fair enough. All these reasons for which reason Liverpool is not winning the league. Let's listen to why and who Erasmus thinks is winning the league.
Training with the squad is probably first for me. Okay, to Arsenal, right? So Arsenal would win the Premier League according to Erasmus. The reason,
Guys, go ahead, take, I don't know, screen record this part of his his ranking, save it, keep it in your archives. In fact, schedule a post for next year when Arsenal bottles it and the end of the Premier League. Check when the final day games will be. Schedule a post. Already tag him ahead of time and be ready to remind him of this horrendous prediction that Arsenal win the league. How is this even possible? First, the club that has proven to win the league in insane amount of times is ranked 4th. That same club, in their worst ever performance, are ranked 3rd and finished 3rd in the Premier League. Arsenal, in their best ever performance in their last 3 seasons, have all been 2nd place finishes. Now, the what do you call it? The defending champions are ranked 2nd because they have CDM issues and they don't really have like some trust in Van Dijk and Mo Salah and all that. And then Arsenal is put first because where's the justification for why Arsenal is put first? Like I think there's no way Arsenal is finishing first. And this is, I usually banter what do you call it, Mikel Arteta for whatever frivolous reasons, but this is not any of that banter. It's practically because I do not think Arsenal are made for winning this league. So for instance, you make the same reasons why what do you call it? The same reasons why Liverpool are not finishing first. Arsenal didn't win the league last season, so they are not favorites. They don't know what it looks like to win the league. Not the squad. They've not experienced it. They don't know what it takes yet. Maybe they would win it. Maybe they wouldn't. But I don't think that there's any reason to predict that they have the capacity to win it over Liverpool. Second, Arsenal still has new players that they've bought in that they're embedding into the squad. They have Martin Zubimendi at the heart of their midfield. They have Victor Gyökeres at the top. What is really the proof that these guys are going to hit the ground running? Where is that proof? Why is that same proof not extended to Florian Wirtz? Why is that same proof not extended to Milos Kerkez and Jeremy Frimpong and Hugo Ekitike? Why is that same proof not extended to Ryan Cherki of Manchester City? Why is it that Arsenal's conditions now all of a sudden make them primed to win the Premier League? They have demonstrated nothing. Arsenal still is depending on a left left winger in Gabriel Martinelli to win the league. Arsenal, that's not happening. Like, Martinelli is not your starting winger and you are winning the league. Saka is still overburdened. You are not winning the league in that system. Martin Odegaard has still not proven that he produces any significant numbers over the course of a season. You are not winning the league in that system. Arsenal is like a consistent, and I think people like to make this very bad logical jump that they've been the most consistent team, therefore they are likely to win. It's very, very flawed because they are consistent. They can keep being consistent for the next 10 seasons, and other teams would keep having one season exceptional performances and keep winning the league every single time over Arsenal. So Arsenal has nothing in their books that show that they actually are going to win the league. It's the same logic from last season. Last season, you would have said, Arsenal has finished second twice. This is their time to win the league. They even had a much worse performance than the past 2 seasons in last season. And Liverpool had an exceptional performance and they won. It's the same thing. You need teams to have exceptional performances. You don't need teams to have consistent performances. That's why Arsenal is not winning the league, because they've not shown to be a team that can demonstrate to have those exceptional performances and sustain them over a long period of time. Arsenal is a consistent team. They will grind out games. Yes, they would win 1-0, 2-0. Arsenal never seems like a team that would, except the very first season that they finished second, which it was exciting because they caught people off guard, because I think they had finished 6th the previous season. And they had finished 6th the previous season and they caught people off guard, right? So it meant that it was exciting to see them and it was like a surprise element to it. Since then, Arsenal has not done anything exceptional in any of the seasons that they finished second. So there's no reason to believe that Arsenal is likely to win the league. They've not demonstrated anything to believe that they will win the league, except the fact that they are consistent. Consistency has never won this league. The Premier League, consistency has never won it, right? And especially when it is inconsistency within the seasons, but consistency across seasons. That has never won the league. Like, you are inconsistent within the season, but then across seasons, you finish second. So it is viewed as consistency. But within the season, you are so inconsistent that you never produce an exceptional season to win. That's Arsenal's issue. So Arsenal is not winning the league. I'm sorry. Arsenal cannot win the league. And Arsenal, in my opinion, is fighting for 4th place together with Chelsea. Arsenal will finish top 4. Sure, they might even finish 5th if a team is aggressive enough. Arsenal might finish top 4. But I think that in that 4th place, it's between Chelsea and Arsenal. If the one that is a little bit more aggressive would finish 3rd and Arsenal would finish 4th. And if Arsenal doesn't take care, they would even drop further to 5th. But what I'm saying essentially is that Manchester City finishes 1st in my rankings, Liverpool 2nd, Chelsea or Arsenal can share the 3rd and 4th. I really don't mind. But I think that the disrespect on City should stop because people are still underestimating Pep. And this is how he wins the leagues. When people are daring, when people are underestimating them, this is how they win the leagues. This is how City win the leagues. As much as we say Pep is very dominating, he loves an underdog story. He sells the underdog story to the players. This is how Pep wins leagues. And Arteta's team, no, they exude no confidence in order to win this league. Now let's listen to the rest of Erasmus's discussion, a little bit of it, and then, I mean, you can still go and watch his reaction, but essentially my top 4 predictions are Manchester City topping the league and winning as champions, Liverpool 2nd, Chelsea 3rd, Arsenal 4th, and the 3rd and 4th can swap. But I primarily think Arsenal is 4th, and if they don't take care, they might even drop to 5th.
Erasmus. The reason why I have Arsenal winning the Premier League is simple. I think that they have a coach who has been here much, much longer, has been in a lot of title race, and recognize that.
Who has been in more title races than what do you call it, Pep Guardiola in this Liverpool, in this Premier League lineup? Who has been in more title races than Pep Guardiola? Yet Arteta being in 3 title races makes him a coach that is primed to coach a team to win the Premier League. But Pep Guardiola, who has won 6 titles with a team, 6 with a team. Pep Guardiola, who has won 6 and at least has challenged for 9 titles, or let's say 8 titles at least. It doesn't give you enough confidence to put him 2nd or 1st. But Arteta's 3-year title in 2nd place, where last season he wasn't even challenging, and the season before the league was won way earlier than the end of the season. How is this even a reason why Arteta is going to win the league?
Recognize that last season it wasn't much of a title challenge. Like, it was just Liverpool coasting. And this year they'll need to battle it out. And I think Arsenal is more competent in terms of being able to do that. We all know what we are going to get from them. And we all know that the only thing that was missing was the striker position. And not to even say that they didn't score a lot of goals. They did. But the only thing I see against Arsenal is their mood or atmosphere within the club. If they start very well, I think they go ahead to finish very well. If they start bad, I think that it might be a challenge because this season, there's no room for a lot of slip-ups. But I've looked at Gyökeres and he looks good, mate. He looks good. Like, we will hate watch as much as we want.
Gyökeres looks good. Sure. Haaland is better. Zubimendi looks good. Yeah, Ryan Cherki is great. Right? Like, Florian Wirtz is outstanding. Milos Kerkez, Jeremy Frimpong, Hugo Ekitike, Joao Pedro at Chelsea in Club World Cup. How are these guys slipping? And Gyökeres is the only one that Erasmus sees. Come on, Erasmus. This ranking is not good at all. Liverpool 2nd, sure. Chelsea 3rd, sure. 1st and 4th, nah. Arsenal is 4th, at risk of finishing 5th. Manchester City is 1st. They are not at risk of finishing anything. they are first. And so that's my ranking. I mean, my ranking is primarily because I think that the squad rebuild of Manchester City is hugely underrated. The manager and his quality and his experience within the league is hugely under. There is no one in this league who knows how to win a Premier League trophy more than Pep Guardiola. There's no one who has been in more title challenges than Pep Guardiola. There is no one who should exude confidence of starting the season on an extremely high note to guarantee more wins than Pep Guardiola, because even in his worst season, he finished third. Arsenal's best season got them second. Pep's worst season got him third. Pep's best season got him three Premier League titles in a row. Come on, guys. Let's do better with Pep Guardiola. So I think Pep Guardiola and Manchester City would finish first. I think Liverpool would finish second, and Slot is a good coach. I think Chelsea would finish third because I think they have the confidence now, and Maresca spending 1 year in the Premier League gives me more trust in him. But Pep, Arsenal, the main reason is I do not think that Arteta has proven to be a manager who coaches a winning team. Arsenal has been, I think people overrate the fact that, like, people still underestimate the fact that Arsenal has been hugely inconsistent. And this is an argument people use all the time that I tell. The season that Ole finished second with Manchester United, and I think similarly the season that Jose finished second with Manchester United, nobody will look at those United teams and think they were title challengers. Same thing with Arsenal. These Arsenal teams are not title challengers. They don't have the quality to win a Premier League. And so you can disagree with me all you want, but I think the odds do not favor Arsenal unless they extremely outperform their own potential, which I do not think they will, because they think that they are already there. They think that they are performing enough, and it's just luck and factors that are not playing in their favor. Arsenal is not winning the Premier League. They are actually at risk of finishing fifth if they don't take care. So this is my reaction to Erasmus's Premier League rankings. You can go watch his full rankings and let me know what you think about this reaction also in the comments. See you on the next episode of the Shaft Sports. Thanks, guys.